I am going to break a world record. Okay, so I was just chilling on YouTube whenever I came across this absolute legend named Jaxker. Now, Jaxker holds the world record speedrun for a game that we all know and love, a PS2 classic, a household name, Neopets, The Darkest Faerie. Now I know, you have definitely, most certainly heard and loved this game. Anyways, this is my childhood game, and if anybody's going to hold the world record speedrun for it, it's going to be me. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, as you will soon see, to beat Jaxker and claim my rightful place on the throne. Now, I should probably also mention that this is actually my first time ever speedrunning anything, so this should be fun. So we begin our speedrunning journey. First things first, we skip this whole entire sequence because it's unnecessary and I hate it. We run and we get some money because we really need money.
We just need money.
So like I said, you can literally see me like looking down, watching this tutorial as I'm going through this speedrun. I didn't really think this through, just leave me alone. I should also mention that this is like, the main character's name is Tormund. He's pretty cool and he lives on a farm, as you can see, but we don't care about the farm. We're leaving the farm. We get to our first challenge, which is glitching out of this area, which it actually takes me a few attempts to do because it's kind of hard, but we finally get it. We glitch out of the area and now we're out of bounds. Another thing you're going to notice is that the majority of this speedrun relies on me running out of bounds and getting to certain areas. It's an extremely buggy game. Like, this game is literally the glitchiest game I've ever played in my life. So we run in the right direction out of bounds. We finally hit the right area to teleport ourselves up. We are on our way to this game's, basically its hub called Meridel. It's a castle. But first we have to get this stupid idiot's rose for him because he got mugged or something on the side of the road and his golden rose got lost. So we get the rose for him and he gives us money, which is pretty cool. We then finally make it into Meridel and we have this stupid chase sequence which feels like it takes 30 minutes to get. We get done with the chase sequence and then I literally jump into a river to freaking kill myself. The reason being because it actually just teleports us on the other side of the castle, which is where we need to go to get our very first weapon. How cool. So what's the first thing we do with it? We go and we stab and murder people for money. We get our money, and then there's this really weird glitch where you can literally get infinite money. If you just go up to this sign, hold X, and read it, it gives you $500 every time. I don't know why, and I also would like to know how people found this out. Anyways, I sat here for a while, get like $18,000, and then we go and buy alcohol. Just kidding, not alcohol, but it does give us strength. The second one, and this makes me super duper fast. So we run super duper fast under the influence of our speed potion, and we then have this glitch where you basically can walk on water like Jesus, so that's cool. But the item that we're trying to get right now is literally the most important item in this speedrun. If we don't have this item, we cannot do anything in this speedrun. This is the most important and glorious item of this speedrun. We have to get this item, and it takes me for freaking ever. It takes me over an hour to do this because it is so difficult to do. Like I said, this speedrun relies on you being out of bounds and hitting the right areas, and I keep hitting the wrong freaking area and having... I was ready to lose it. I was so done by this point, and I was ready to give up, but I didn't, and I finally got it over an hour later. Yes! Yes! Yes. Anyways, we get in the mines. This place that we're in is called Callam, and this is the Callam mines, which you're not really supposed to be in until Act 3, and we're in Act 1, so that's cool. Anyway, we finally enter it, and we kill this stupid idiot. Literally, the boss fights in this game are like the dumbest boss fights I've ever done. But anyway, we kill him very quickly under the influence of my strength potion. Then we save this guy. This is actually the mayor of Callam. Say hi to the mayor of Callam. We speedrun this conversation like an absolute boss, and they finally give us the most important and glorious item in the game. Literally, it's a potato sack. A potato sack. That's literally what it is. This thing is, for some reason, it's like the most important item you need for this speedrun. It's important. Anyway, it's basically just a cloak that you can put on, but we then have to go to a place called Illison's Glade, which is basically setting up the end of Act 1, and we have to do a thing called a ledge fly. This is the most important glitch for this speedrun. It's very difficult to do, like it's kind of complicated to do, and you have to hit certain buttons in the right pattern, but it takes me forever to finally finally master, but finally, after taking like forever to do, I finally get it, and I don't listen to the tutorial.
Keep going through here, but don't go too far to the right.
And I run right and get back in bounds, and now I'm stuck, and I'm angry. And so I decided I have to basically start at the last save that I did, so I respawn back at a save point, all the way back into Callam, and run all the way back to Illisen's Glade to do that ledge fly that took me forever, all over again. But anyways, we do it, and we're successful. We get into the right area of Illisen's Glade, and there's a boss named Narfus, and he is so big and so red and so cool. There's this weird glitch where you basically tase him to death. Like, I get under the influence of my strength potion, and if you spam the attack button, I tase him. Listen to this. Literally, I tase him, so that's cool. We then fall down, and then there's these spooky, scary clouds, because the game's called The Darkest Faerie, and she put the dark clouds over it, so now everything's scary, and there's a lot of monsters, and we have to get out of Illisen's Glade and go back to the castle. So we go to this place to ledge fly to get back into the castle, and after a few attempts of not listening to the tutorial once again, I finally realize what I'm supposed to do, and that I'm doing something wrong. And we get into the castle, we have to do a ledge fly off of our bed up into the outer bounds of the castle, and I basically get it on the first try. We then have to fall into a specific room out of bounds, and I continuously fall into the wrong room, and so I have to continuously ledge fly. But I finally get it, and I get into the right room, and it activates a cutscene, which then activates a boss fight. Then we don't fight the bosses because we have to ledge fly into another room, so we end up ledge flying while we're getting shot at, which is horrible, and we go into the wrong room. So I have to go back into the room with the bosses and try ledge flying once again. It was absolutely miserable, I can't lie to you. But finally, we get into the right room that we need to go. We run around out of bounds, and then we jump into basically Act 2. We are now entering Act 2. Now let me explain what's happening in the story. There's two separate characters in this game. Tormund, of course, was our first character, and now we're being introduced to Roberta, and in Act 3 they meet up, and then you have two characters you can play as. So this is basically our second character, Roberta's story, until they meet up. But before that, I decided I would take a break because I was tired. I was 3 hours into this, I was done. So I took a break, and I know you're asking yourself, this was a speedrun. You can't take breaks in speedrun. Shut up. Yes, I can. I'm allowed to take as many breaks as I want because this is my speedrun. So just be quiet and watch the video. I took a very long break. In fact, it literally took me a day until I came back to play this. And Act 2 is so boring. Literally, you just run around. There's like no special glitches or anything. You just run around. The only thing interesting in Act 2 are these stupid dog idiots. I literally don't know what they are, but they're weird and stupid looking, and that's like the only interesting thing that happened. So anyways, we get into Act 3 finally. Our two heroes meet up, and here's where everything goes downhill because I realized for some reason my cloak did not save. You need a cloak to literally do everything in this speedrun, and I mean I am devastated. Like, I was ready to scrap the video. I was so done with this. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, there's got to be a way to do it without a cloak, maybe? No, there's no tutorial out there to tell you how to do it without a cloak, so I literally am stuck. So what do? I start from the freaking beginning. I'm literally not kidding you. I do all of this over again, but in much quicker time, actually. I'm actually very happy with how quickly I did it in this second time, and we actually glitched into the Callam mines on our very first try. I was amazed. I was so proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing that didn't go right in the second run is we didn't get to tase Narfus and insta-kill him. We tased him, but he didn't die. Because I forgot to get under the influence of strength. Anyways, we kill Narfus. We then begin to enter the castle like last time, and I accidentally fall into the wrong room. The best part is there's no exit to this room. I literally sit here and I am stuck, and I try everything I can do to get out of this room, and there is no escape. I'm stuck. I have failed, and I hadn't saved to like backtrack because I thought saving was what screwed up not having the cloak the first run. So what do? I freaking start over again from the start. By this point I'm so tired, but I have everything basically memorized up to this now, so I literally do this crap in record time. I go through all this so quickly, even quicker than my second run, because I have everything memorized. The whole time I'm just thinking this cloak better show up in Act 3, because I'm not worried about falling into the wrong room in the castle. I'm worried about my cloak not showing up. So anyways, we get through everything. We get through Act 2. Here's the moment of truth. Does the cloak show up for Act 3? I'm freaking out. I'm like, this better work. This better work. And it actually works. I don't know, I think where I didn't save and I didn't take a break, it worked. I was ecstatic. I was like, holy crap, we did it. We freaking did it. So we finally have our cloak and we try to kill these enemies and Tormund freaking dies. You can't ledge fly with Roberta. Tor is dead. I'm so done. I am done. Are you sure? But I realized there's a potion of revival that you have to get, but you have to go so far out of your way to get it. But that's the only choice I have unless I want to start over. So I run all the way over to get the potion of revival, go all the way back. We get to the bridge and we begin to ledge fly across this bridge. Takes a little bit. We then get to the same ledge fly to get back into the castle. We get back into the castle and I hear on the video that if I don't do this ledge fly in the castle correctly, the game is going to crash.
If you get a straight angle ledge fly, it will crash the game here.
I'm kind of freaking out at this point because I'm not doing this again. But it somehow we managed to do it right. And I am so happy that it actually works. We hit the exact spot we need to do and our game does not crash. Then we get to this part with these like goth fairies, the ones that were trying to kill us in Act 1. And they're just floating here because they're supposed to be a boss fight, but we're not actually supposed to be in this room yet, so they're not triggered. So we just get them down to 1 health so that whenever we do have to fight them, we can just clap them in 1 hit. Anyways, I end up having to do a ledge fly that I think is basically impossible. I try it for probably over 30 minutes, ready to pull my hair out, ready to give up. I'm hungry, I'm angry, I'm tired, and I realized that I was mishearing the guy on the video. Down right? You didn't tell me that. I was pushing my analog stick the wrong freaking way. So I feel like an idiot basically, and I get it done almost on my first try after realizing what he said. We then have these kind of like gauntlet fight thing, and Tormund freaking dies again. This idiot just can't stop dying. He's an idiot, bro. So we now have to use Roberta to kill all of these creatures, and she's kind of annoying to try to fight with because she's not very good compared to Tormund. So anyways, we finally get it done after what took way too freaking long. We then get to the boss fight with the fairies, and I think that it's a good idea. Hey, we need to get Tormund back, so I'm just gonna die so that we respawn outside of the boss fight with both Tormund and Roberta. Not thinking that whenever you die in this game, it takes you to your most recent save where you manually saved. I have not manually saved in this run. Yeah, so I didn't think about that. But some magical way from the Lord above, he freaking blessed us here, because when Roberta dies, Tormund is still alive. I don't know how. He was magically revived before this boss fight or something. Thank God. I didn't think about it until after the fact. So anyways, we end up back in Faerie Land, and I decided it's break time again. So I plan on coming back to it later in the night, and I don't. I literally wait till the next day. So again, a break took a little bit long, but that's okay, because this is my speedrun. Do it how I want to do it, so you leave me alone. So we get to Faerie Land, we run through it, we get to this like semi-boss fight thing. It's not really a boss fight, but it's kind of like you're in between a boss fight. I don't know. Anyways, you need Roberta to get this part, and she's dead because I let her die. And I'm like, are you kidding? I think that the game's soft locked, and I think that I'm screwed because I'm sitting here mashing the buttons to switch characters. It's literally L1 and R1 on the controllers at the same time, and I keep hitting it. And it doesn't work. So I'm thinking she's dead. That's why. No, she's not. It just didn't work the whole time, and finally just randomly it worked, and I'm like, okay, cool. Anyways, we wasted a lot of time there. We go through this random portal. We then teleport to Act 4, which is the final act of the game. The first ledge fly that you have to do apparently is one of those ones that will crash the game if you don't do it right. So again, I'm freaking out. I'm like, yeah, I've made it this far. We are not screwing this up. And we don't. Somehow, I don't know how, I managed to actually do it right. We then teleport down to this elevator, which is supposed to be the end of Act 4. So we literally scratched off like hours of work. Now here's another ledge fly, and I failed the ledge fly. Tormund is just infinitely flying, and then I end up out of bounds somewhere I have no idea where I'm supposed to be at, because this is not in the tutorial, and I'm just scared, and I see something and I'm like, I'm just gonna drop into it and hope for the best. I drop into it, and somehow it's literally exactly where I need to go. It is exactly where I needed to go. I'm like, holy freaking crap, I did it. Anyways, we get through this little sequence here. We then teleport, ladies and gentlemen, to the final boss fight of the game. This is it. This is what we're waiting for. The darkest fairy. We fight her. I screw up the whole entire boss fight, and I die. But luckily, it respawns me back at the very first part of Act 4. Luckily, not at the beginning of the game. So we go through all of Act 4 again, then back to the final boss fight. So now, once again, we are retrying the final boss, and this time I'm not messing up. We are going to do this right. We have to do this right. We fight her. We deflect her bullets back into her face many times. She flies up into the air. We switch to Roberta. We fire like multiple shots at her face. She comes down. We run over to her. The fight's over. That's literally the fight. Like, that's all you have to do to win this fight. And it's the final boss of the game. But anyways, speedrun's not over. For speedrunning terms, there's a certain cutscene you have to hit. So we sprint across under the influence of our our speed potion. Sorry. Sprint very fastly over there. Hit one cutscene. Then we run to our final cutscene. And we finally hit our time. Our official time for our speedrun was 2 hours, 1 minute, 34 seconds. Oh, Lord. Well, yeah, okay. There's the speedrun. And now let's take a look at the world record held by Jaxker. 38 minutes and 17 seconds. What the, bro? Are you kidding? So yes, we may have not beaten the world record held by our boy Jaxker. But sometimes in life, winning is not always succeeding. Sometimes the real victory are the friends that were made along the way and the fun times we had. But wait, there's an end credit scene. If this video gets over 100 likes, then I will seriously, for real, try and beat this world record. I love you. Jesus loves you. Take care.